What's going on YouTube? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Thunder Zords. From left to right, we have the Unicorn Zord, the Lion Zord, the Griffin Zord, the Dragon Zord, and the Firebird Zord. Now, all of these figures were sold in one big set, or you could get them in two sets. The 4 non-Dragon Zords in one set, and then the Dragon Zord on its own. I picked these up via my good friend Tom from Toku Nation, otherwise known as Soul Inc. Chew, over on Twitter. Picked these up about last year, and I'm only now getting around to reviewing them, so yeah, sorry about that. So all of these guys also come with little plastic rangers that plug into different parts on their bodies. I somehow ended up with 2 pink rangers, but it doesn't really matter since each ranger is just molded after the red ranger for some reason. I don't know why, but oh well. First, we're going to take a look at the Red Dragon Thunder Zord up close, and we're a 360-degree view. He's a very cool Zord, measuring well over 12 inches, around 16 to 18 inches, though, with at the tip of the tail to the tip of the nose. He is pretty posable, though this is really the best way to make him look. I wish I had a stand that I could just put him on so he looks like he's flying. In the Japanese version of the show, or the original Sentai, called Dai Ranger, he was known as Ryuseo, and he is the only one of the 5 Zords we have here that has an alternate mode. Next up is the Lion Zord, also known as the mythical Chi Beast Star Shishi. It's a mythical lion. A Shishi is a Chinese mythical lion, pretty much. It's a pretty interesting looking Zord, but it's only the front half of a lion. So we've got like the front paws, the head, and the body, and then a butt, which is the helmet of his combined mode. It's a very strange Zord. Not bad, but just very strange. Next up is the Unicorn Zord, which I don't know how they got a unicorn out of this. It actually doesn't really look like much of a unicorn at all. Yes, it has this little teensy tiny horn up front, which looks like it's supposed to slide out, but it doesn't. Yeah, this isn't a unicorn. In the Sentai, it's called the Mythical Chi Beast Star Tenma, and a Tenma is a Pegasus, so yeah, that's a little weird. No wings, so okay. And this guy has a tendency to throw giant rocks at people. Next is the Yellow Griffin Zord, which, again, I don't know how they got the name, or how they got a griffin out of this, because it sure as heck doesn't look like it has a beak. In fact, it looks more like a horse, or, I don't know, a deer, which is actually what it is. It's called the Mythical Chi Beast Star Kirin, which is a kind of deer-esque mythical beast from ancient Chinese mythology. And apparently I have some of these figures have a lot of hair on them, but they're not anyone from this house, so ew, Tom. And last up is the Firebird Zord, also known as the Mythical Chi Beast Star Ho-Oh. It's kind of like a phoenix, kind of a firebirdy phoenix. Actually, I think Phoenix Zord would actually work better for this thing, because it looks more like a phoenix, or what I would envision a phoenix to be, as opposed to a firebird. Not bad at all. It's actually one of the better bird Zords we've ever gotten. Now we're going to get into what's called the Assault Mode, or Assault Team Mode, for the Lion, Griffin, Unicorn, and Firebird. We'll talk about that, and then we'll get into the transformation for the Dragon Zord. To form this Assault Team Mode, we first take the Unicorn and put him on the, well, if you're looking from the back, it would be on the right side. The Lion pegs in up front, like so. It's actually a little trickier than you might think. Then the Griffin goes on the other side, and it just kind of rests there. It should lock into place. Finally, we take the Firebird, rip its legs off, and then attach it with those clips on the back here, and fold the head back. So this is the Assault Mode, which it's the sled, and it has been confirmed that the new Saban Bandai USA Legendary version of these figures will also have a sled. So I will be getting that figure at some point, or that set, to do a comparison. I actually really do appreciate the fact that all of these combine into one mode. They're very loose. I mean, it's really loose, but there are wheels underneath, and it can roll freely if you push it, but just be careful. If you push it too hard, things are just going to fly off. It is very cool, though, the fact that all of these can combine. Now, this is actually called in the Sentai the Mythical Beast Chi Palace. Don't know where they get Palace from with this. Now let's get into the Dragon Zord's transformation. To start off with, take the paws in the front and the back and fold them forward to combine them to form the robot mode's arms, like that. Come back here to the tail and actually unpeg the tail from the foot and fold that little piece up into the bottom of the foot. Then the tail will fold up, and we'll put that somewhere else in a bit. Come to the front of the figure, pull the head off, fold out the feet, fold the back of the robot, or of the beast mode, down or forward or up until they come into place to form legs and thighs. Move the arms around so they fold into place. Come to what was the bottom of the dragon mode, unpeg this red section, flip it up, and then flip the section all the way over. Clean off the dust from the figure. Take the tail piece, and that will peg into the chest. And then take the dragon head and drop it down into place, and then push the dragon head down. Well, first by opening the mouth. Dragon head goes down, and everything should snap into place if you did it correctly, and fold the yellow horns back. And here we have the Red Dragon Zord Battle Mode. The Red Dragon Zord is very cool, and back in the early to mid-90s, this was something we had never seen before, where the Red Ranger's Zord would transform while the other guys didn't. It's a very cool-looking robot mode, and just works well. It's well-proportioned, it's very well posable. You've got plenty of movement in the shoulders, lots of ratcheting and going on. You've got a ratchet at the elbow, so he can kind of go, come on. And it comes with this awesome staff. This staff is great because in the show he could spin his arm and, well, it popped off, but in the show he could spin his arm and act it like it would fly, or he could spin it really fast and then hit the bad guys with it. He does have posability in the knees and in the feet, and you can move the legs from side to side, but you're not going to get much other posability out of this guy, unfortunately, because he's missing joints here in the hips. But it is cool that you can put his hands up like this and you can move his arms. It'd be really nice if other Super Sentai figures had this amount of posability. And you could totally combine these two. You just drop the Red Dragon Zord down into the footwells that are on the sled, and here we go. We have the Super Assault Team. The Super Assault Team is really cool. This is how I normally pose or have this set displayed, simply because everything fits together really well, and it just looks cool. I love the fact that this was included. It rolls freely, which is awesome. I love this mode. It's probably my favorite next to the Megazord. It's just so much fun and so cool. And let's face it, since this, there hasn't been that many combo modes where everything is used and they're not just a giant robot, but like an assault team. It would be really nice if we had something like this now. I would really like to see something like this currently. Now that we've taken a look at each one of these individually and their first set of combined modes, let's go ahead and merge them up into the Thunder Megazord. To start with, we're going to take Griffin and Unicorn and reach behind the beast's head and fold out these plates that will cover the thighs of the combined mode, and then fold the heads back into the spot where they were. Then fold up the legs, like so. Next, taking the Dragon Zord, we're going to take his arms and put them so that the upper arms are pointing straight out perpendicular from the body, and then the forearms are being parallel to the rest of the body. Take his feet and point the feet straight down and turn them so that the dragon spines are pointing to the outside of the body, and then put the dragon legs into the nice boots provided by Unicorn and Griffin, and then repair the pieces that fall off. Next, we're going to take Lion, reach around to his backside and pull off his tail, then grab the paws and push down, and they will unpeg. Then take the top part and the lion head, fold the lion head up, and reach inside underneath this green dome and fold out these connector bits. These connector bits will peg into between the shoulders and the main body, and they just snap right into place. And one thing I forgot before we do that is I really should have attached the Firebird. For the Firebird, first pull off the tail, turn the dragon around, and there are clips on his butt. Those clips will peg into the Firebird. And then I like to just partially close the wings, because the wings have these clips inside of them, and they will hook onto the spines of the dragon mode. So just get those combined up like that. Those fold in, clip into place, and then fold the wings in like that. Fold this red piece down, and then peg in the chest plate, like so. Then the paws. Now, which side of the paw are you supposed to use? Well, look at the paw and take the piece that has the little peg and point that to the back of the figure, then reach inside and flip down the giant thunder fists. Those fists go over the hands, and then the paw folds up over the shoulders. And do that for the other side. And last but not least, drop the head into place and peg it in. The last bit to finish up is take the bow staff from the dragon, find the end with the open hole, and take the wing or the tail wing from the Firebird and peg it right in, and you end up with this really awesome weapon. I will be the first to tell you that the Thunder Megazord is very impressive, and it's huge compared to the other Megazords of past, of which there was, one. Compared to the original Megazord, this guy was just gigantic, and he looks awesome. I love the aesthetic, even if I don't think it's supposed to be a Japanese samurai, but it sure does look like one. I think it's supposed to be a Chinese armored warrior, which would make a lot more sense, but it's kind of creepy, or it really is kind of weird that you've got these Chinese creatures that merge together to form something that looks Japanese. I'm pretty sure it's a Chinese warrior. I'm not totally certain on that. I haven't been able to find that much information actually about what this is supposed to be molded after, but it looks awesome regardless. And it also comes with a really big sword, but you could dual wield giant sword and giant spaded weapon. And here's the Thunder Megazord's weapon, otherwise known as the Thunder Saber. This figure is also known as Daireno in Die Ranger. And yes, I was right in my assumption. Its design is based off of ancient Chinese soldier armor, mostly mountain pattern armor. So yeah, I was right in my assumption. I should have looked that up before I did the review. Now, remember those little figures that we had on the tops of all the Zord's head? Well, they can all be stored up here in the chest, in this little compartment where the lion's top is. I absolutely hate this because getting these little figures in there is a pain, and they have a tendency to fall out very easily and rattle around. So if I get them in there, I just leave them. When I originally had this figure many moons ago, I seem to remember that it came with a little peg and clip so that you could clip this thing onto his back, or onto the Megazord's back. Unfortunately, Tom did not have that when he sold this to me, and I've been looking for it ever since. I'm not crazy, am I? I swear there was a little clip that you could put back here to store this. Aesthetically, the Thunder Megazord is probably one of the coolest looking Megazords we've ever had in the 20 years plus that Power Rangers has been on, and it is one of my favorites. Unfortunately, it is a giant brick, but I'm okay with that given the way he looks. He's just really awesome looking. Next time, guys, we will be taking a look at the White Tiger Zord, the 6th Ranger's Zord, and this is the original White Tiger Zord, not the Legacy or Legendary one. So gang, I hope you have enjoyed this video review of Power Rangers Season 2 Zords, the Thunder Zords. As always, I'm Baltmatrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.